Yeah, those were so much fun, and I look back at those, and people always, how did you guys decide what the theme was or something like that? Well, we didn't. I mean, I don't know how the arrangement between Coliseum videos and the WWF at the time, how they whatever that agreement was, and I don't know if they WWF knew what's going to happen with these. Are people going to buy them? So there wasn't this big urgency to put all this effort into them. Let's just do some. And Alfred and I lived in Stanford, so like, we'll let Mooney and Hayes do it. And so that's literally what the way those started. And there was a producer, Kevin Granith, who was kind of behind a lot of the stuff that we did creatively. But we had a prop closet at Hamilton. There's this gigantic, I remember it's a big giant doors, and they just would store stuff in there. And we literally would walk in there and go, oh, what do they got to, oh, look, there's we've got some stuff left over from when Tugboat was here or something. So let's do a ship thing. We did one where, you know, Alfred's in, we found like the Admiral's outfit, and
Yeah.
initially that's the way a lot of the stuff that we did, just wing it. And they would write up a script and we do it. We did one like a Rod Serling theme where I did a really bad Rod Serling, the Star Trek thing,
Yeah.
where, but they kept getting more and more sophisticated because
They're doing
those
well.
tapes were selling.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, I remember, because I don't think Vince was paying attention. He didn't care. And then finally, somebody must have brought one of the tapes. And he said, you see what they're doing over there? Mooney and whatever it was. I remember we did one where I did a like kind of a combination Sergeant Slaughter, where I'm dressed up in fatigues, and we got a Jeep and everything, and we had people lined up, and I'm doing inspection and everything. And I remember it was kind of this edict that came down, like Vince is like, keep it to what does this got to do with wrestling or something? Like, and so we kind of came to this point where they changed things and maybe made it a little more direct. But people loved that stuff that we were doing. So they kind of went back to it. But at that point, the tapes were really selling. So they started putting more money into it. And we got, the sets got more elaborate. It wasn't as much fun because we weren't able to just
Wing it.
do what we wanted to do and have a blast. I mean, there were times like Alfred was so funny. And people I know appreciate him, but his dry sense of humor, like drat, or I never heard him swear. He would never swear. He'd say something like, how unfortunate, and but he was so funny. And there were times that I wish that I had a reel of the stuff that that we did off camera, or the bloopers, because I would be crying. I'd be like, he made me laugh as much as Gene did, or Bobby, just because of the way the things he would say. And I remember one time that he had Andre's van. Andre was in town, and he used to travel around in this big van that had a giant captain's chair. So we borrowed it for the day, and we were like going to some event or something, for that was kind of the theme of it. And the car breaks down, and Alfred's supposed to be like underneath it, repairing it. And I'm supposed to be talking to him. And when I did it, I like hit this wrench thing, and it fell through and hit him in the head. and it's like the closest I ever heard, like where he almost like said something to me that I think F might have been involved with it, but he wouldn't let it out. It was so funny because he just couldn't let himself, like, just go like, what the, never, ever, even in that, but he'd taken a lot of bumps in his career. So that was nothing. That was just another nick.
Just a wrench to the face he's okay with. Oh my.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh geez, sorry.
Jesus.
We had a blast. It was so much fun doing those videos. I have a bunch in a box in the garage somewhere. I'll have to
bust them out.
I can't play them. I'm sure they won't even work in a VHS machine at this point. But
no, I think I have a few over here, and I think they'll work. But be careful once you start hearing the noise of.
No, it's a collector's item. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, you go on eBay and look those up, and people sometimes just buy the boxes.
I know. I saw one of the ties, one of the original ties that they had that they gave us, because Vince was very into that, where we had the colored jackets. Yeah. I think at one point we had a cranberry jacket, we had the light blue jacket with the WWF logo on it. And I always stuck with the dark blue blazer. Once in a while they'd say, change the jacket, but I always was stuck with the blue. And I have one jacket that I saved. But the tie also was these ties that they had, and they had little WWF stitched in them. And I have one, but I had a few, and I don't know what happened to them. But I saw on eBay somebody was selling one of those for like $5,000. I was like, what? So, if it ever gets to that point, I've got that.
You got boxes. You got boxes of stuff.
And it's an original. I mean, it's the original blazer with the WWF logo on it and a tie. So I figured I'm gonna, I'll cash in big time, right?
No kidding. Worn by Sean Mooney, Sean Mooney in the event center.
Yeah, I'm never selling that though. I'll save that forever.
That's a good item. Put that in your casket with you when you go.
But I wish we had the phones back then with the camera.
I know.
I think about all of the great moments I could have captured, and I've had to depend on people who actually were there taking pictures. Steve Taylor, who was the photographer at the time, took great pictures, but I would have loved to have had my own collection. Back then you didn't have it, couldn't make your little videos, you didn't have it with you. So
you'd have to have I don't even know if they have the disposable cameras. You'd be sitting there and click, zoop, hit the flash on top. Is it ready yet? Okay, it's ready. Click. Oh shit, did it? And you don't know if it came out.
I missed it.
You don't know if it came out because of the film you have inside it as well. That's the unfortunate nature of technology, But hey, that'd be like the 60s, the 70s. That's why you see the same pictures over and over again from certain eras of wrestling or music or sports, because, well, if you didn't take the picture with a real photographer, well, you don't have it. It's gone forever.
Yeah. I did save. I mean, I do have a lot of the stuff, in boxes that I'm glad I saved, because, most of us are gone now of that era. I'm one of the few remaining. There aren't too many, because you look back at how many are gone now, and it's just like, it's mind blowing to me that, and they weren't that old, many of them gone in their 50s and 60s, which is it just shows you how tough that business is physically on these guys it was a great time for them. They had the greatest fame they could have ever achieved, but boy, did they pay a price. They really did.